Good times, everybody. Welcome back to ZSR and another Majora's Mask Randomizer Standard Tournament. This is a losers bracket round 2 between Sonaholic and SampleName. I am Tomotaki Restreamer. I am joined by Spec and Fifth Whammy, who are going to be talking. I am also joined by Night Owl, who will be helping me track. So I'm going to let them talk. I'm going to go off the push buttons. All you guys.
All right, we are set then. I'm here, Spec, with Fifth Whammy. We're going to be commentating this race.
Indeed. Tonight, we're bringing you Sonaholic and SampleName. SampleName has brought some fresh, inventive execution in earlier rounds. And we'll see how that helps against the higher-seeded Sonaholic. Not a huge discrepancy. Both runners very skilled. Looking forward to a closely contested race today.
I was looking at I was doing a little bit of research. Samp's oldest speedrun dates back, at least on speedrun.com, to 2015. And the most recent main category run is like all dungeons restricted from 2 years ago. And Sonaholic has been playing both Majora and Ocarina of Time Randomizer since 2023, I guess. Both of them, just not stopping.
Indeed. Significant experience under the belts of both these runners, each in their own way. It's gonna be great seeing them show their stuff on Restream tonight.
You mentioned the execution. I have been paying close attention to Samp's races, but when someone comes from a speedrun background, that's the first thing you look at, right? So, and consistency is also key, even if you know how to do all the tricks in the world. So we're gonna see that, someone who just came to this tournament right away, hasn't done standard randomizer before, from what I can see. Coming from speedrunning background, maybe getting a little bit adjusted to the rando savviness versus someone who is just randomizer player straight up from the beginning.
Indeed, I'm very much in the latter camp myself. Different backgrounds. Our runners are off. Sona interested in the gold dust on the ledge. That's a neat find. Your first bottle, you can't use it immediately, but it's a pretty natural 200 rupees, and it's regrabbable.
Oh yeah, the regrabbability cannot be understated. If they end up getting multiple bottles, that might be the freest ticket to a quick bank 2 or a bank 3, and it's always nice to see when you're able to do those.
Yeah, we recently had a silver rupee on Clock Tower Red Ledge, and that maybe not quite as regrabbable. Still very, very helpful for the runners in terms of banks, all the rupee obligations that Majora's Mask has scattered throughout. Sonaholic rushing to night 1 here.
We saw a fairy being grabbed, and we're gonna see a Guru Guru check right away, the combination of both. And the 2 cafe checks that are available are dead. It is indeed. They are a blue rupee and a piece of heart.
Almost quiet so far, apart from that bottle. Yeah, how did you enjoy your time with the Fairy Guru Guru opener, by the way?
The worst part, I think, is, after cycle 1, it's the, what is it called? Like the euphoria period when you're doing the first things in a cycle, and then eventually it's like, bro, I need to think about the postman peak, and what do I do about the whole, do I just reset cycle, and how do I even get in the hotel? I barely have anything to do. And that is a little unsettling, but it's like, we can talk about openers for like 3 hours straight, right? But in the end of the day, it's all about having a default plan for all the low sphere checks. So if you map out things and get all of them done eventually, it's all good. I found my way into doing it with it, which is entering Swamp right away and doing Night 2 East Clock Town. And yeah, that's the experience and general routing will prevail most likely.
Indeed, indeed. There's certainly an adjustment if you rush forward and start doing those night 1 or even more aggressive ranch rushes. It does mean you've got to go back and account for the spheres errors you might have passed up along the way. Um, adapting to that, very much part of your opener plan. In the meantime, we've got a purple on Tingle, pretty handy for anybody jump slashing Tingle, a very common strategy here. And we got a Bremen mask on non-transformation fairy. Oh, that's a postman's hat on Tingle for 40.
That postman that goes very well with the 50 on the tree. Gotta not worry about that. You could do the check right away, or just go past the first post box, maybe the second one. Samp, yep. No, the second
Yep.
post box. Not
Oh,
yet,
wow.
not yet.
Well, I mean, there are 5 convenient locations to get your postman's hat check done.
It is so easy to get the item when you're right at the item's usage location. A big one for me is when you get the complete Fire Arrow Magic Bow package, and you're right there in Zora Hall for stage lights.
Did I read that properly? Southern Swamp 4, I see.
That's 4. That's big.
That's a high number. But yeah. Anyway, you were saying the Fire Arrow package?
Yeah, when you get them all inside of Zora Hall, when you complete them, that's always you gotta remember. So starting with the hints, yeah, we got it's another Snowhead Foolish seed. You might think, is it the Path of Snowhead? Is it the temple? No, it is literally the Great Fairy location. So definitely a thanks game moment.
Yeah, there was also a bow on Iconic Great Fairy. Absolutely not required. About as hard bow locked as you can be there. Let's see. I saw Goron Race dead, Bowed Archery dead, Snowhead Foolish, Iconic Great Fairy, bow not required on Gossips. And now we have Fisherman game off the table.
Yeah, that should be it for now. And the bow on Icona Great Fairy, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but when you start hunting the importance of some of those multiple copy hints, it might be nice to know that one of the bows is confirmed very, very well behind another bow in Icona Great Fairy. No doubt about it.
Yeah, that's relevant knowledge for our winners. There are only 2 bows out there. So you might have to look a little harder. It has been a quiet first few minutes. Besides that bottle of gold dust, no real hard progression. I don't think we've seen postbox checked yet. Sam has it on their C.
Oh, I believe we saw a hard piece. Yeah, Samp did check it on the 3rd, I guess, mailbox.
Okay, so that was dead. And then we had a big gilded heart container, big gilded spin attack mastery. That was on Straw Roof. But Sonaholic does find magic in RTSS Grotto. Good pickup.
Whatever it is, Sona's default for the I mean, I say Fairy Guru Guru, but I guess Rush Night 1 opener, if you want to be a little bit more classy about it. The in-game time seems quite nice. But you gotta choose one or the other, probably, between the Postman's game and the Swordsman game right here. I believe it should be the first time Sona goes through West Clocktown. I'm personally always prioritizing the Postman game just because it's so annoying. But walk around here. Yeah, walk around here to the bomb shop. It's gonna spend some chip time, then get the North Clocktown ferry item. Probably gonna be really close to the old lady time.
Yeah, and Postman's game closes at midnight, I believe. Cycle 1. Except maybe I think if you turn in a letter to the cafe, you can do it day 2. But Swordsman's School, on the other hand, you could delay it. Wow. Cafe's mask on Postman's Gang. Bunnyhood logic gonna be a consideration for Sonaholic there, I would say.
If that midnight meeting ends up having something, then you really get your eyes open as much as you can for that Bunny Hood location and bait ability, I guess.
Yeah, since it's still early in the run, it might be worth setting it in that meeting anyway. I mean, not a lot of time investment, really. I mean, the worst time loss is actually going in to check it.
I saw Sona going to the left side. I thought he was gonna do the special where you exit from West Clocktown to Termina Field, read the gossips, and then enter north. That's a way you can spend a little bit more chip in-game time when you don't go to the dongles on night 1. But he's going straight to the ferry. Not gonna be quite midnight, but this kind of wait time is rather, it's more than welcome, realistically.
Yeah, and since Sona entered North Clocktown before midnight, can take advantage of Town Great Fairy, gets a Bremen mask. Maybe an extra enticement to do Ranch day 3 this cycle.
Kind of an unfortunate fate for this gold dust right here, because that's probably gonna be turned into only 99 rupees. Southern having 4, you just gotta go there right away. Don't waste any time.
Yeah, tough to put it off. I mean, day 2's Mystery Woods pretty much mandatory with an IC4. Even if well, we do have a bottle. Yeah, so I mean, you've got to empty out that gold dust, put in a red potion, head to Mystery Woods. I don't see a reasonable way around it this seed. Yeah. Big Gilded on to Stump as well. Yeah, Snowhead Foolish. Yeah, Snowhead Foolish, quite rare. Means that Snowhead Great Fairy is shuffled. We will get an always hit for it somewhere. But we know it's not anything, thanks to the Foolish.
It is unfortunate, but it's so interesting because it's actually quite rare for you to get Snowhead specifically Foolish. I don't know if there's a programming quirk, like some wizardry Zoe is not telling us, but it's like, okay, I don't want to start throwing shade into OTR. I could do that and talk about Bank for hours over here, but I feel like you see a lot in OTR, Hyrule Castle, outside Ganon's Castle, just dumping a Foolish. In MMR, you would think it's like, every seed beneath the well Foolish, every seed Stone Tower Foolish or something like that. It's surprisingly not. Not even like Path to Snowhead, which is the Foolish that I see most people memeing on these days.
Yes, Chet, that was indeed Iconic Canyon Foolish. As for Foolish hint selection, I am reasonably certain in MMR that checks with more regions in them are more likely to get a Foolish hint if they qualify. I tended to notice this more in Mystery, when all of a sudden Iconic Castle Foolishes showed up a lot more often when the pots were shuffled in that region, for whatever reason. Another common tell is, I believe, during Season 3, Stone Tower Temple Foolish showed up a lot more often, thanks to the chest fairies. And what do you know, that is a wallet on Dodongos.
Oh,
a very nice thing to find here thanks to that gold dust.
That is such perfect timing. This is crazy. If Sona wants to, be a little bit more money hungry here, he can actually, deposit, sell the gold, get another gold, and then come back, go up to 500. That's possible.
It could be done. Yeah. Bank 2 is now in Logic, and it's worth it. 2 checks. We did see an NCT IC1. As far as we know, we've got... Postman's Hat was there, that wasn't anything, but Bremen's Mask was there as well.
Ooh, that's a tricky spot. North Clocktown, when it has a limited amount of important items, you're always like, it would be nice to avoid hide and seek, it would be nice to avoid Deku Playground, And then you probably end up full clearing at the end of the day. It is what it is, but gotta look out for that too.
Maybe the ideal play here is get your red potion, day 2 swamp, day 3 ranch, do your Bremen. Because if your Bremen leads to a required item, that cleans up a fair bit of North Clocktown for you. No more Keaton, no more Deku Playground, no more bombers.
Yeah, unless they get something like, Zora Mask in Swamp, and then you decide to go for the Transformation Fairy right away, maybe entering Great Bay afterwards or something. Yeah, everything. It might point out that the runners might take the day 3 not so good usually wrench trip here. The thorough wrench trip. That should be more than welcome if nothing else shows up in North Clocktown, or not even the opportunity of trying to fish something there.
Samp just picking up a frog on Swordsman School.
This is
Samp
quite a
playing more
chunky.
traditional that one.
It's quite a chunky bank account for Sonaholic. Will be only 30 away. I mean, will be 60 away.
Uh-oh. I'm seeing a loss of connection on Sonaholic's side from the commentator booth.
Oh yeah, that's the Twitch screen of the stream being down. That Samp goes for the broken stick, but on the wrong wall. Stuck with the Kokiri sword for now on the Dongos.
Unfortunately, the other Dodongo interrupts before the 6 flash comes down.
Hopefully it comes back soon. Given that there's no delay on this match, it might just, whenever the internet decides to cooperate, Sona might be back. We are going to spend a few minutes not knowing what is on Swamp. So who knows? When we come back... Alright, Sona came back. He is paused,
back.
so I wonder if he...
Paused. Alright, in the meantime, Sona went to Swamp, has a red potion in hand. Plenty of rupees in their wallet. Spent 30 of them for the potion, I presume. What I'm conjecturing is, a gold dust regrab and sale. Surprised they didn't deposit for bank too.
Possibly. He has a full wallet. I don't know if he under deposited or whatever. That was, if I'm not mistaken, Woodfall Great Fairy has the Great Fairy mask. Was that it?
That might have been it. Did it say not required?
Yeah, it definitely was not required. Yeah, when it comes to the money situation for Sona, if he breaks the bank here, it might not be too recoverable.
Land title deed in Mystery Woods Day 2. If that's if you can turn that in and get an important item off of it, that's 2 of the ICs right there.
Yeah, I wonder if the situation shows up where, I mean, yeah, if it's land title deed for another swamp item, two for the price of one, and then if Sona ends up getting 2 other important items, then by pure math, the land title deed cannot be for this trade, because both would have to be important. Although it is Swamp 4, and there are not that many checks in Swamp. There are a lot, but not that many.
Yeah, besides this, there's near Southern Swamp Grotto, or near Spiderhouse Grotto. There's the frog, there's the item on the roof, which I don't think was anything. There's Picto contest.
Oh yeah, I take back what I said. There's plenty of troll places for this to show up, and if you want to start writing the seed fanfic from here, the scrub relocation item can also have importance. So, and they did get land title deed. So if swamp title deed and moon's tear end up showing up, kind of have to keep track of that possibly.
Yes, indeed. The spoiler log indicates that the Scorpio location item can count under Southern Swamp, and if it gets a star, that counts as the IC. Synchronized Southern Swamp. Everybody gonna find it tough to stay away.
Yeah, a little bit later, but Samp... I'm not sure if Sona did P-Hat Grotto. He was there already at night. Maybe... I don't know if Samp did Gorman Bros Race, maybe. So it's a whole woods behind, but... No, did some checks as well. Alright, so the trade was nothing, right?
Yeah. Trade was nothing. There might have been Romani's mask on the roof.
Yeah, that might be... It might be a little bit dangerous not saves coming the deed right here, because, you know, Toilet Hand importance does happen, right? So just dumping the paper here...
It could be important for access to the roof. Yeah, the land title deed itself was in Mystery Woods, so it could count toward the Swamp IC. Samp is having none of Swamp, headed straight to Ranch.
Oh, wow, skipping on Ranch 4? Did he forget to sell the gold dust or something?
It's tough to say. We did get the Snowhead Great Fairy dead hint. We have a stock. Yeah, we got a stockpot in Foolish.
Oh, that's the best Foolish when you're playing their early night 1 Fairy Guru Guru. What a hint to have.
Very helpful Foolish. Wipes out, you know, some annoying one-offs like Room Key, or 2-off like A&M. Toilet Hand off the table now. Very relevant for that paper. Cafe's Mask not fully eliminated. Yeah, land title deed, something on the roof. It may be Romani's mask on roof. I didn't get a great look at it.
So, Midnight Meeting is dead, although it wasn't in logic anyway so far. No Toilet Hand, and Swamp 4 apparently had. Is there a way to have negative items so far? Because it sure looked like it. So, in typical Majora fashion, we're down to the last checks. To check our bottleneck.
Yeah, we're getting lemons here. Samp playing the Termina National Anthem, but Sonaholic's opponent just stopped dead in the middle of the race. Gonna have to retry.
I hope it's not controller disconnection issues. Yeah, I saw he stopped.
I'm worried between that and the menu earlier, the extended menu, for no real reason. Hoping that's the case.
When I looked, he was already stopped, so I don't know what went on.
Sona was stopped for a good few seconds. Yes, Fox, land title deed was Mystery Woods Day 2. So it could totally count toward Swamp IC, and looking at Sona's tracker, Sona has Captain's Hat marked, so it may have been the Captain's Hat on the Tourist Center roof. If that's the case, then land deed can be 1 star or 1 or 2 stars solely for being able to use the Deku Flower to get up there.
Yeah, that's 2 items down.
And what do you know? Bremen Mask offers a bow. That's a Spear 1 bow.
That's the wow, what a way to satisfy North Clocktown 1. And apparently Sona's not gonna get it for a while because since North Clocktown has one item importance count, that is our bow. It's no other
That's
bows.
it.
That is our bow. This is
That's
it.
it. That's it. Bremen can't be 1-star because it's only one IC in North Block. Therefore, Bremen is 2-star. The bow's 2-star. It's the only way it can work with the IC1.
And Samp getting a little bit too ballsy here, maybe because Honey and Darling is a thing on day 3. And he already went night, so maybe hope that's not a punish.
I hope not. Yeah, I mean, as a runner, you keep a plan in your head for how you're going to manage time of day, and all of a sudden you get a bow, and maybe you don't adjust that plan. Happens now and again. That was a repeat hit for Goron Race. We saw that one earlier.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sona may be taking the short end of the stick of the way he routes the Night 1 because he already had the Milk Road Owl, and from here, a very simple way you can proceed and do a very minimal, minimal load zones and not going through the same place twice. You could have just done the Gorman race and went straight to Ranch, then soar back to Milk Road and do Pihag Grotto on your way to Great Bay Coast. See, he's actually gonna do. I mean, he's doing that, but he can't do chickens from here. He can't do the lemons. So
you would have to invert.
yeah,
Which, doable, but not ideal. Inverting does cost some time. The song isn't free, and you'd have to play it twice.
yeah. As long as the clock is ticking, the time for inverting might be gone already. And yeah, minus 13 seconds every invert. I mean, plus 13 seconds. Yeah, exactly. He would have to invert now. Hold on,
Yeah,
hold
like
on a
immediately.
second. I mean, now. No, now. Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's it. Sona realizing calling in an invert. Even then, it's going to be tight. Just about 2 minutes, I would say. Get lemons done. And they haven't even started yet.
Yeah, my guess is that Sona maybe, did a little bit of fumbling when it comes to, the in-game time, then you have to go P-Hat, but you want to go to Ranch 2. That order that I mentioned would have solved this perfectly. But sometimes, you kind of want to do one thing and then the other, and then both at the same time. And soon enough, there are like 4 things in your head, and you're picking, I don't know, 1.5 of them weirdly. That happens in Randomizer.
Yeah, it happens. It's definitely possible for the runner to be shaken up a bit, especially with the controller failures. And Sona is marked on his tracker. Controller died. LMAO.
Oh, man.
In the meantime, Samp just picked up Hookshot from Great Bay Coast Grotto.
The Siege showing more and more that the Swamp for important items is basically psychological, right? Because
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
mid-late
yeah,
game captains had come on and I don't know, maybe some throw an ice arrow on the grotto or something, and then 1-star bomb bag on Swamp Spider House if that can even be hinted, right?
right. The NCT-1 had more early game value than the Southern Swamp 4. Funny enough. Yeah, Sona's got around 30 seconds of in-game time left. They will get their lemons done.
Yeah, thankfully, that's plenty. And you got a Gato Mask on Samp's side on the first single item. Should be the one shared with Romani Ranch, I believe. I'm not sure.
Let's see. It was the first one. Yeah, that would be shared with Milk Road.
All right.
Sona not using their bow.
Yeah, we have it kind of foolish, right? So there's no funny scenario about the grotto. I mean, in 2 seconds we might, if we get light arrow, that's gonna be a funny scenario anyway. But yeah, just getting some bonus items that might not be used so soon. Who knows?
Yeah, Iconic Canyon Foolish does weaken the East play some.
Well, on the audience side, we know what we want to see. We want to see that Kokiri sword, no bomb bag, secret shrine. Maybe it happens.
That's a bean for Samp. Additional logic for that big gilded stump at Terminative Field, but they've got a hook shot too, which will be much easier.
I immediately thought of that too, but the bean is behind a hook shot, so. And there's a double defense that it's probably not gonna get grabbed, but depending on the fairy egg situation or how many hearts, I wonder if it's worth going back to eventually.
Yeah, both our runners already have 5 hearts on their meters. Decent number to be at. Usually in a competitive situation. Iron Knuckles cannot one-shot you though.
Oh, and Sona getting wrapped around in a tragic reality. This minigame should be 100% dead, the hide and seek.
Indeed, Sona must have forgotten the mark. Yeah, does not have the Bremen mask marked in their tracker. Good combat news for our runners though. Top Clocktown Day 3 chest has a Razor Sword, and all you need for it is a hookshot. Yeah, Bombers is dead, chat. We know Bombers is dead. I mean, a Sphere 1 bow behind a Sphere 0 Bremen, it's never gonna be 0 star. And because it's IC1, we can conduce that the Bremen mask is the IC1. You can skip a lot of NCT. More good news for Samp. Stumpy's got light arrows.
Good news for us! Maybe we're gonna see that shrine soon, because what else is there?
Yeah, we've got magic. We have shrine access.
Oh, that is
shrine
beautiful.
access to 30. Samp's got a Razor Sword for it.
Yeah, on Sam's side, I mean, I guess you visit freaking... You visit Swamp 4 already for the Copium, but after that it's Shrine, baby. With, oh my god, 30-something minutes on the timer. That's really nice.
Yeah. You know, a quick cycle 1 for Samp. And Sona was the one who began with the double.
Yeah, big chest on Observatory right here. Samp doing the classic Trev Observatory Avoider opener, where you only peek the hideout chest. It's gonna be only 100 rupees here though. Although the scrub is very much in play. Wonder if Samp is not thinking about visiting the observatory maybe on the cycle reset after buying a potion.
Yeah. I mean, they've got, you know, some decent progression on this bow, hook, Garrow, lights. Shrine an interesting option now. Yeah, maybe just wanted to get the cycle done before proceeding with, you know, time investments like Observatory.
That was Storms, right?
I believe that was healing.
Oh.
Or was it Storms?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like Fox said, the text alignment. That's how I tell these days, because funny enough, it's one of the better cues. But yeah, it should be Song of Storms. So no memes on routing Kamado after playing day 2. Where should my in-game time be? It's gonna be absolute freedom from here a little bit.
Yeah, Iconic Canyon Foolish takes Pamela off the board, and you know we already have a bottle, so. You know, not really a required Storms. A convenient Storms. Saves you the trouble of scooping water, but not much else beyond that.
And Samp getting the Scarecrow because, who knows, a North trip might be coming soon. It's a very nice time to play when you buy your potion next cycle.
Yeah, North's open, Red Bay Coast Cliff open.
So let's see if Samp is gonna go for the Observatory or the Icona entry right away. probably should be entering Ikana when you know you're down to Secret Shrine. Oh yeah, speaking of, yeah, well observed. Archery minigame. There are three of them basically, and we're seeing none of them. So what's up, I guess?
Right. Honey and Darling slipped past both our runners. Here we see the observatory play from Samp. Already has the rupees to take advantage of Termina Field business scrub if they need it.
A good in-game time alignment here would be to finish with the Southern Swamp stuff for Sam. Then you can play today 3 as you're in Swamp. You probably, you're gonna do Swamp Archery after healing the Witch. That you're gonna lose the in-game time freedom there. But you can warp back to Clocktown, do both mini games you maybe should have done last cycle, and then you get to enter Ikana, and your last location will be that shrine trip if nothing else shows up.
Yeah, I mean, Shrine's decently dense, but it's a couple spheres in. Items perhaps less likely to be placed on those checks. You also wouldn't mind seeing something like bombs before going in. The Razor isn't bad. You could do a lot worse than Razor.
Right, so the money check number 2 is a little bit more money. 2 deposits away from getting 1,000. And it's like 50 on the tree. What else? We saw a bunch of these.
The on the tree. There might have been a couple silvers somewhere. Bomber's dead, as we know.
For Sonaholic here, as the cycle resets, well, it's gonna be a, playing Great Bait trip, no doubt about it. It's just that if Sona wants to do the 2 minigames before the Ikana entry, it's gonna be awkward to play the double times, cause since Sona doesn't even have a way into the grotto in Zora Cape, it's just the fact that he can play the double times without transition, it's not that common, but that might matter here. It's a good chunk of a time loss, and it's like you enter Ikana and go all the way to Shrine without giving the minigames a chance? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 minigame checks between, on all 3 archeries. We've seen none. Let's see here. North's open, but you don't have bombs, so there's some hesitation there. Really just a human and a bow is all you've got. Yeah, Samp did skip Mystery Woods in their first cycle. And you really have to, make up for it now with the IC4 and all.
Yeah, that, to say it nicely, extremely questionable would skip for Samp. Just lined everything up perfectly from here because, those are pretty much, mid-ish game items. You still need at least a Deku or maybe a cheeky Goron mask to get the benefits from the swamps, the Southern Swamp way of the hero. And he's gonna get to heal the Witch and then go to Swamp Archery. Something that Sona is just not gonna get to do. If he's gonna go back to Swamp Archery, he's gonna have to do the hard way, completely isolated way. Although there is a tingle item there, it's good to know.
Right, the tingle can be popped now. Sona couldn't do it on the first visit.
Yeah, and it's very relevant because when you see the future ahead of you on those remaining checks, the Ikana entry, the secret shrine, you're probably not sad to soar for each tingle item.
Yeah, I mean, Tingle's got, a fair bit of checks on him, and competing with Secret Shrine, really, I mean, we're missing, 4 items on Tingle we haven't seen yet? Alright, minigame try from Sona. 480 rupees, gonna spend some here.
Sona is so far respecting the minigame singular, because he can't do Honey and Darling, not just yet. Unless, maybe this is a day 3 song time, or enter the hotel to listen to the stories or something.
Yeah, I would suspect a visit west for Sona after this. 60 rupees, get you both tingle items if they have something. You've got your bottle, I mean, you don't have Hook, but not a lot of things are competing at this point. Yeah, deficit, total number of checks on the board is low enough that, Town Archery is appealing here.
Yeah, you're stuck as human, so you're moving slowly, and minigames go up in value when you're at that point. And you see entering Econ as human is very slow too, and Secret Shrine, 1+1 sword is not enough. Make that a +2. Because we do have Gilded Sword in our near future. Maybe not for Samp. Although I suspect the Town Archery is gonna come soon.
Yeah, from Sona's perspective, still no hook shot. So, Sona's open checks are even narrower.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing. Sona indeed entering a grotto to gun the time to, I assume it's day 3. When it comes to when it comes to these double times and wanting to avoid the screen transitions when you play them, you really have to plan at least a little bit out in advance, because going out to Termina Field, climbing the pillar all the way to the grotto to then play the double times, it's like you might as well take the transitions probably, or just listen to the grandma stories.
Yeah, the end was open. Grandma was available. I think that would have been competitive time-wise.
Like the only time I really think that going somewhere specifically for the fast double times would be if the ranch song was randomized, which is not in the setting, and you get your last song there. Goron Lullaby, Keg for Goron Lullaby is your go mode. And then, Snowhead takes 2 seconds, so you might as well soar to Swamp in order to play the songs. That is the only situation I think it's actually worth it. You probably have to time things, probably, because at the end of the day, it's just a matter of math. But yeah, going out of your way to avoid the transitions is... As little as you move, you're already costing yourself time, so it's very tricky.
Yes, I think both runners check postman's hat early. And, mountain or ocean title deed, swamp archery, you're a little disappointed to see that. Not an easy regrab if you have to cycle.
Thankfully a foolish item, given that Ikana Canyon is not in play anymore.
Okay. Yes, in that case we don't mind as much. Good pickup there, Spec.
What? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just mentioning, good thinking on your part. Iconic Canyon Foolish does take that Ocean Title Deed off the board.
Yeah, it's probably commentator's privilege, or that I'm probably getting more used to it, because I frequently forget the Ocean Title Deed on the Iconic Canyon Foolish situations.
I think Samp has the Foolish one?
It's a good thing on your tracker when you can mark the items out. Like, you mark once for the item to be full color, the signaling that you have it, and then you mark it again. I use the sold out icon. It's a very, very classic old school. And as soon as you get those foolishes, you can just mark them out. In this seed, you mark Ocean Title Deed out ahead of time. You mark the All Night's Mask and the Room Key out ahead of time. it saves a little bit of a snappy, intuitive brain work.
It does. It does. The Gossip Stone tracker for MM has a right-click option for that reason. You can right-click the item and a little no sign will pop up. Evidently, I should be following my own advice there, since that slipped past me tonight.
I'm actually not aware of the right-click option. I learned how to use it by replicating and using it. I just click twice, but I know there's like dual boots mode for OT and some special things it can do.
Yeah, a lot of it is a little hidden away.
Yeah, Sona just taking a single sword for, honestly, tingle item plus the swamp archery, making one item turn into two. It's already good enough reason to consider it, although, Great Bait Visit would be even better. Even though the Great Bait Visit, we know it's not that big of a deal, really. But Samp is... Honestly, I don't even know, because now Samp has to do the minigames. They might... And Sona has the advantage of not entering the hotel, but he did hide and seek. So,
that is true.
I don't know, TLDR, maybe they're gonna be tied or something.
Yeah, Shrine, or perhaps North, getting more and more likely.
North
is... There's some progression there, but also awkward. You don't have bombs. It's also day 2 or day 3. You can't even visit Goron Shrine to get your flag set for Elder Goron. It's slow as human, but it was an option.
I wonder what's the timing on that, because I'm just never doing that as human. I just don't care. It's just so slow to get up there.
It is pretty darn slow. Is it slower than rolling all the way from Mountain Village's Goron a second time once you have it? I don't know. I mean, if you can take the Goron and say combine it with something like Keg Trial or the scrub purchase, then yeah, maybe it's worth it to just wait and do it as Goron.
We do have our first big, beautiful gilded sword on screen on Samp's side. We'll probably have Sona's soon enough too.
Yep, Sona's second sword upgrade, right, sitting there in soft block now, should be an easy grab once Sona gets hookshot.
That is a single item tingle pop for Samp. Would guess that's gonna be followed by an Icona entry.
Yeah, I think that's Samp's last tingle. They got used the hook shot on their first visit to GBC, if I remember correctly. Okay,
Sona
now
here is going... Oh, sorry.
Yep, and now they're doing horse race. Yep, Samp didn't do horse race, cycle 1.
Oh, right, yeah, I was under the impression that he did. Our runner's really trying to skip some checks over here, getting a little bit aggro happy, maybe too soon. Sona has just done Swordsman School, which can be an issue, depending on the way you route the early night 1 opener. And, the mini games, not doing them first cycle, and then, each runner taking a little bit of an awkward way into them. If you look at your inventory screen and you see the items, you see basically the lack of a Goron mask. They were still trying to push, not doing some of these checks. And the major reality came soon enough that you were probably full clearing this early game.
Yes, it's been a relatively stingy early game. I mean, there is shrine access and a bottle, but apart from that, no transformations, no bombs. You can see a captain's hat, can't get it yet. So, yeah, pretty spare seed, not a lot of checks on the board. Where to now, Samp? Getting back on Epona. They've already
that should be a straight line into checking what the scrub has to offer. I believe he's still in the same cycle. And just going all the way and repeatedly telling yourself, please don't be shrine, please don't be shrine, please don't be shrine. Is there money here? Wait. Oh, a fish.
Ah.
Well, somehow, Sample hadn't done lab fish yet. I was really not aware of that.
Yeah, that slipped past me too.
Because I don't know, maybe Samp's bottle was filled because of forgetting to do the Golda sale or something. But I'm not sure. Yeah, because it was the first cycle. You know, because later he bought the potion, but it was already a different cycle. You know, doing a single soar for this fish here, and never feels good, but we got a sink here, of all things.
Simultaneous cycle 2 lab fish.
It's a sink in the lab fish.
Just a piece of heart there.
And Fox had mentioned in chat, like minutes ago, I did not forget it, and he's totally right, because the Grey Bay Coast ledge item is fully in play here. Because we found that bean that we all commented about Swamp. No. That bean is completely logical for the ledge chest. And I wonder if you're gonna get... What is better? I mean, okay, so Secret Shrine now is irrelevant when it comes to us watching the race, because Secret Shrine with Gilded Sword, piece of cake. It's the easiest thing ever. What we wanna see is an awkward bean regrab / do they remember / do they enter palace or something for that Grey Bay Coast ledge item. Maybe we get to see it because they don't have bombs. They cannot do the tricks and cheese that check.
Yeah, they would have to use their bean and their storms. Samp has set up Scarecrow, but even then it's a track.
And on Sona's side, we did see a fairy eggs confirmed. So the eggs are not in the fortress. The eggs are, you know, in our little pots and pieces of grass, wherever there's a fairy.
Yeah, chat, you can start putting in the eggs as human. To actually get the song, though, you do need Zora.
Yeah, I personally think it's so pointless to, you know, pre-check the eggs and pre-deliver. Maybe in a situation where, I don't know, maybe you want to check the song. Maybe you want to check this earlier to, you know, maybe take some routing decisions or whatever. But, you know, it only comes into play when you have Zora. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Once you have Zora, it's nice to know. Because if you scoop your fairy and it turns out to be eggs, then you can feel more confident about pushing, you know, PF or even PR, though the latter's not ideal, if you're low on bottles. Because there's no threat of a forced revisit for, you know, traditional eggs. Sona's got their hook shot. Did they pass right by Stumpy?
No, Sona absolutely got the light arrow on Stump, and Sona is on a horse in Termina Field, on his way to Ikana. Decided to do a little bit of a pit stop on the tree here. Foracida has a very cheat code for money available. Sona seems to be picking up those rupees sporadically. I don't know what he has in mind for those 40. It's only gonna come into play I mean, not so soon. He has a light arrow for more money, so I wonder. But, oh, soaring back.
Huh. So just a check of RTI pillar, which wasn't anything.
Okay, I swear, when I see Samp going from the Goron minigame to South Termina, I'm like, this is it. This is the shrine play. This is what we've been waiting for. Nope. Just gets a fish and go do lab fish, because why not, right? And then you see Sonaholic right there in Ikana, got the light arrow, or he has the Ikana package. Is he going to the shrine? No, just soaring to Clocktown, cause You know, we got Scarecrow Song for some not so distant, actually, future. And another sword. What is happening right now? But Samp is going to Shrine. That is our first Shriner on the stream.
Samp has accepted the possibility of Shrine. Not a lot left. Lens Cave is on the board. 2 checks and you don't have bombs though, versus 5 at Shrine with a Gilded Sword and 5 arrows. Or not, 5 hearts. 5 hearts. Samp actually has fewer arrows than hearts right now.
Yeah, when it comes to Secret Shrine, our most beloved and hated location, it's not about how you feel about Shrine. It's like it's not about Secret Shrine. Here's a bit of Majora philosophy for you. Secret Shrine, it's not a matter of feel. It's a matter of need. And when you look at their inventory and the checks available, it's like, you have nothing! That's your only option.
We are at the point in the seed that what do we have left? You know, a bombless north and bombless, Goronless, fireless north no less, and Shrine. Shrine with 5 hearts and a gilded. You know, it's not often that Shrine has stuff, but this is the situation. Oh yes, that's true. That's true. North is out of logic. You can't bomb the snowballs. You can't punch them. You can't shoot them with fire arrows. You have none of those things.
Also, speaking of what I saw Sona doing, because you know he almost entered Ikana, then Sword to get a Scarecrow Song plus I don't even know, but Sona is actually gonna get the bean here for the first time. He has the whole package, so if Sona wants to just you know say Shrine no more from here, it literally tries to bink that check. That's the spot. That's right now.
Yeah.
If he decides to do
Right.
something funny here.
Right. Cliff is available. North is not available. Sorry, chat. It's been a long day. And we'll see the double defense. Not grabbable, probably not returning for it.
The currently submerged Double D. And we got an Epona song again from Sona. I think this is it. I think this is the battle. 5 checks versus 1 check. Secret Shrine. Oh, but it has density. I have a good sword. Versus, screw it. I'm going for the ledge. I want to see the stars. I want to see the moon, right? Just go to the ledge. The best point of view.
Yeah, I think the trouble with out of logic Deku Palace is, sure you can get a beam that way, but, you know, in most standard seeds, you are going to have to go up and get the song, and you don't have Deku. You know, especially in this seed, we already have storms on, you know, Skull Kid song. So 5 out of the 6 remaining song checks are required. We don't know what the 6th is yet.
The thing about Out of Logic Palace for being here is that we can't even go there properly. We have a single bottle as a way into Palace. No Zora mask, no Goron mask. So,
yeah,
you really don't want to go there, probably. It's just
yeah,
awful.
it's faster and safer to just go to Cape, re-grab the beam. Although it is Sona's first grab, so that works out for them.
Yeah, if it comes down for it to Samp, you better have that written down, because you probably don't want to take the boat again, heal the witch again. Alright, I agree with Nat's fanfic. Bombag here. Oh, it is Bombag here!
It is Bombag.
And our last goal of the seed, crushing hopes and dreams for Samp. Oh, that is so poetic right now.
Alright, Bombag is going to grant North access, and pairs pretty well with North. You're going to get the 3rd Landscape chest as well. You're also going to get Zora Cape Grotto. Graveyard Grotto, now open.
Song of Storms is definitely nice. Every single time you don't have to soar to swamp in order to water a bean is a win in my book. I think we lost Sona for a little bit, but I mean, if you want to see what's happening on Sona's screen, picture your first Majora's Mask gameplay, because I know every single one of you watching played the vanilla and got all the hard pieces, right? Everyone here did. I'm very sure of that. You know, picture just watering the bean and playing the Scarecrow as the developers intended, as you see on the, 100% no damage, blah 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 videos on YouTube. That's what's happening. Because we have nothing better, no better way to do that check.
There. Samp getting the jump slash. Get low on health now.
1 1/4 heart. Can't be too reckless here, but it should be fine. Yeah, that's the last hit.
Work on Wart. Maybe farm up a couple hearts to get rid of Crit Wiggle.
This is the last check on Shrine, right? We're down to the bonus, I believe. Where's their God
I
Master?
think we are down in the bonus. Maybe Samp proceeds to Garo Master? Okay, yeah, Samp just did him in chronological order.
No Ice Arrow for this fight, unfortunately. Just raw swording. Or Light Arrow.
Lights as well, decent damage. So Gilded Sword gonna do a bunch of heavy lifting itself.
The Samp was preparing for a Light Arrow shot. I don't know what's that about. Maybe it was something cool.
One more chance on final. Both the wooden chests not giving pieces of heart. Samp's still working with 3/4 of heart. Oh, could it be?
So you're saying there's a chance. Oh,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
what we wanted the most, right? A big question mark named Powder Keg. Yeah, that's nice. And we see a pause for Samp. This is the pause. This is the question mark pause. And shuffling through the items. Do I have all the songs? Do I not have Song of Healing? Does Samp know? Does Samp have the regrab? Or the idea? Or a visit to Palace? Anything? We
Yeah,
have
they've got a
song-
bean on their tracker. Bean's marked on their tracker. They saw bean on their menu. It means you've grabbed it at least once. Do they remember where they found it?
You can never sleep on these things. Every punish in Majora is a potential max punish. It can be that brutal. He's aiming for Swamp. He's not wrong. Wouldn't be the best, but at that point, if I had to guess, I think that's a potion purchase. Oh, no, can't buy the bean from this guy. Not that easy, at least.
Yeah, we've still lost Sona. We left
Yeah,
off.
I really-
We were acquiring the bombs.
So Sona is like probably playing the Scarecrow song for the Twin Islands Grotto, the Zoe Grotto. I think I can envision a brown chest. No. Bombable and Lens Cave. I think that's gonna be a milk chest. He's offline on the brace room too, so this is a straight up internet drop. That is definitely brutal. We're gonna see it where we're gonna see it. So far, what we have is another Honey and Darling being done. Apparently a 10 FPS one. The song rolled must be really something. And yeah, it's just how many minutes? Like half an hour later from a typical Cycle 1 attempt of this mini game. And Samp is gonna be back to the drawing board right away.
Well, here's the piece of heart finally. Back to 6 full hearts. No crit wiggle, but no progression either.
So Samp is... Because, like, what goes through your mind here? If you know the bean, but you didn't write down the bean. It's like, is my reality really getting a potion? There's no way, right?
If you don't remember, I think you have no choice but to go out of Logic Deku Palace. I don't know what else you do. Happy 1 hour, everybody, with quotation marks. We're here, MMR Season 6, lower bracket, race between Sonaholic on the left, Samp on the right. Sonaholic, unfortunately, has an internet drop. We hope they can come back. Here in the booth with Spec and Trackers, Madhouse City Tomotalk. Thank you very much. Tomotalk also doing restream duty. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, last we left off, we believe our progression is on the Great Bay Coast ledge via a bean in Zora Cape and a Song of Storms and a hookshot.
What a 1 hour, what a happy 1 hour that we have here, right? First, you know, Sona on the Shadow Realm currently, and Samp probably thinks his check is on the Shadow Realm. What a way to have an hour of Majora's Mask Randomizer so far.
Check stuff to remember. I forgot about it briefly in the commentator booth myself.
So, you know, obviously on Samp's situation is like, you probably need that bomb bag, but in these positions where you clearly forgot something and you don't know what to do, that is, you know, if it's possible, of course, that's when you start just doing dumb out of logic stuff. Stuff that never pays out. You could go to Palace here, you could enter North with the human backflip, even if it takes like 200 tries. Because, you know, the timer is running. This is more of a mindset mentality than anything, I guess. Because, like, the timer is running. You just have to go. So, go somewhere, right?
Right. Go somewhere, pick something.
The last thing
you means is logic.
Yeah, the last thing you do is do nothing. If you have, you know, even a small obscure thing that you can technically do.
Yeah, our runners don't have a lot of tools to go out of logic with either. Just a bow, just a hookshot, no transformation masks. Sona was picking up bomb bag, which helps some. Samp, that's the item Samp is missing. Dry early seed, and Samp has to work their way out of a corner.
Is a Southern Swamp Soar? Oh wow. Oh my god, this is... Oh! Seb had already healed the witch in this cycle. Oh!
That's right.
What?
They delayed Mystery Woods, which will save them a bit of time.
Oh, come on! I mean... I'm sorry, but... Didn't have to, you know, stop and think. Just take the boat, you know? This was available. This is the dream! This is the absolute dream!
I don't know if I'd call it a dream. I mean, I'd call it a minor nightmare? A lesson nightmare?
Considering the circumstances, right?
A silver lining?
So we really start thinking about it, this is as much thinking as the Mask of Sense Importance situation that is totally gonna come up in like an hour and a half. Semp's option, as Semp is human, no transformations, masks, no anything. You have to what? Soar to Great Bay Coast, walk, or I don't know, call it Pona if you want to be funny, walk all the way to the back of Zora Cape to hookshot that chest versus, a fast and altered turbocharged boat from the randomizer quality of life. It's out of logic, but you see 2 items when you want to get a bean.
Rub guards not being kind to Samp there. I mean, I briefly forgot Sam had the boat as well. We had so much going on to discuss.
I don't even know if that's the decision, because if you think you don't have the boat, you buy the potion probably. But like I said, you have to keep moving. Things happen, you forget, everyone forgets every once in a while, but you gotta just, you gotta take a deep breath, you do stuff, and whatever it is you do, all you're doing in your mind, you're tracing your steps, right? You're tracing your steps, you're going back all the way to the beginning of the seed, as much as you can, right? Because not, people, you don't have just perfect photographic memory, nobody does.
Oh no.
But yeah,
so
you keep moving.
Go region by region if you have to. Try to remember what you were doing from the beginning. And even then,
wait.
stuff will slip.
Samp, where's your bean, Samp? Where's your bean, Samp?
No bean. They did not take the opportunity to purchase.
The bean man got you 20 rupees for free. You can buy 2, and then 16 more. But you can. Oh my god. Yeah, at this point, this is as much as raw as a forget as you can see in Randomizer. It's just purely it.
Yeah, we've got to hope for something in West Grotto.
And the thing is, so the worst part about this for Samp is not even forgetting the specific check. I think it was just being stopped, right? That stop, that pause. Because if you really think about it, there is an actual chance you get bailed if you enter north out of logic. That's the craziest part here. You can actually get bailed.
Yeah, that's the next option. If you're not thinking of the ledge, if that's off the table, yeah, I guess you just, backflip your way north and pray.
Oh, Semp remembered. Yeah, Semp is going all the way again, so probably good to go here, maybe. It's just, what a struggle, what a struggle.
I can manage the snowball skip pretty reasonably with FD. I learned it while preparing for Mystery. But, the shorter you are as a character and the slower you are, the harder it is. And you might see... We've got Sona coming back here. Welcome back, Sona. I see a letter to Cafe and a letter to Mama on that menu.
And more importantly, a milk. I don't want to say anything, but I called milk on the Bombable Grotto. Maybe we have that. Get a bet going on. Side bet here.
Sona got their bomb bag. They have fires.
Fire arrow, kind of a big deal from here, but I mean, is it over already? Because Sona is going to a certain place that is miles, for like 2 hours in, not 1 hour 10, not even in logic.
Huh. Maybe they're thinking the captain's head is in logic thanks to the IC4 and just going ahead and doing it now.
It's like Deku hasn't appeared. If you're looking about what Sonaholic has, I mean, it's 2 checks, right? So that letter to Mama, did we even see Postman? That's a good question, right? but there is at least Madame Aroma and Bar, and then go back to Twin Islands Hot Spring Water Grotto. I don't know if Sona did that, if it was a backtrack or not, but that's like it.
I'd have to think they made a north trip.
Yeah, that was absolutely it. But you know, now that Sona is still looking for items on scattered shacks, going here is
I'm guessing
Wow.
they're still on the same cycle given their time of day.
Yeah, it should be. Meanwhile, Semp did make it rain, but took a fall. And Semp has played the Scarecrow song at the very, very beginning of the cycle.
Their foresight is rewarded here. There's the bomb bag. Good display of perseverance from Samp. Commendable, but they've got some catching up to do. And I believe that was FD on Hugo in the corner of Mountain Village there on Sonaholic's screen.
They're probably going to be pretty happy with the Gilded currently. That FD being very likely not worth it.
You'd have to get Goron immediately, almost immediately, before any dungeons are cleared for the investment to even be considered.
Right, Sona didn't have this check, I guess, but now both runners have a beautiful Gilded sword in their hands.
I don't think there was a keg on Sona's menu, so there was no shrine visit on Sona's part.
The canal also is not on the sorting screen. So, honestly, yeah, from what we're seeing right now, Sona is one shrine away from both of them being equal, pretty much, right?
Right. We got a new always hint there, at least new to us. Andrew and Cafe, Stone Mask not required. Which, yeah, a little redundant thanks to the stock button Foolish.
Samp's little adventure, from what I looked at the timer, at least from my perspective, was maybe around 3 minutes. And, still catch up territory. That's nice. And entertainment for us, likely.
Yeah. Still a lot of seed to play. No dungeon entry yet.
Hold on, so Sona just reset cycle. And yeah, this is Smithy 1, Smithy 2, but no Aroma and Bar, I guess?
I guess not. They had cafes. That's a potential missed opportunity.
You want to have a little sweat right now? Look at Samp's in-game time. Being about to get the Aroma and Bar package.
That's gonna close at 9 p.m. We don't know exactly where Sona got the letter to Mama.
Oh no, Samp, don't do this recoil. I know you probably know how to do it, but have Scarecrow.
Samp lands it.
Wait, is Samp
Pop back
sidewalking?
again. Well done,
This-
Samp.
Samp didn't
Well-
side hop for this, right? That was a sidewalk?
I think so. My stream was synchronizing, so I didn't see every detail, but nice work.
I'm
Samp.
definitely
Nice
looking back
move.
for that.
Yeah. Impressive display of Twin Islands movement from Samp.
The sidewalk tech, that's really ingenious because the key for that recoil is that you pretty much cannot be sunk into the snow. Pushy's original strat was side hop, then a backflip. Sidewalking, that works. It's very good. Also, I believe we're gonna see a Zora mask over here on Sonaholic's side on Smithy 1.
Was it Zora Smithy 1?
I think I saw a Zora.
It was Zora. Smithy has progression. That gold dust on South Clocktown Ledge serving as a nice nudge toward that.
Alright, so that should be our main progression, and the official confirmation that Sona pulled quite a bit ahead from here, and Shrine very, very likely gonna get straight up binned, unless our last location is really something.
There's Letter to Mama for Samp. There's Fire Arrows for Samp, so both of them are sitting in Lens Cave. If Samp wants to act on the letter, it's gotta be now. And you'd have to invert. Even
Is Sam gonna go against time? There's no invert. I don't think... Ah, that's not it anymore. I don't think that's it.
Yeah, even with an invert, I think it's too late.
Oh, there it is. There's the milk. It wasn't on the bombable. It was on the Skulltula chest. I missed it by a few meters.
Madame Aroma and Bar are gonna slip past both our runners. I can only hope that that won't hurt them too much.
Naval checks. Sona goes straight for the Swamp Grotto. It is an important location.
IC4 justifies that play, and it's rewarded with a mirror.
Yeah, I was also off by only a little bit. I mentioned irrelevant Ice Arrow. That's as close as it gets. We're still missing one, by the way. I think we're missing one, right?
Yeah, land title deed for a captain's head on the roof. And mirror, 2 song items in Southern Swamp.
Alright, so this seed can be... still have some spicy, funny stuff available. You know, who knows when they're gonna clear the Woodfall Temple and what their temple cleared situation is gonna be for having a cycle to do the picture in the future, etc.
Yeah, Sona is just ice arrows away from doing Egos.
Samp randomly going to the Zora Cape Grotto, bombable of all things. There's a ladder to cafe that is never going to be used, and should be a Song of Time. Probably preparing Smithy 1, Smithy 2. Maybe a Twin Islands Hot Spring Water Grotto afterwards, since the Fire Arrow was in the Lens chest. So a backtrack to get to that grotto is required. You know, so... Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sona has not marked the third IC hint. That is still up for grabs, I am suspecting. This must
We
be
don't
Graveyard
even have
Grotto.
it, right? Now I'm looking at the message. We don't have this.
Yeah, we're not sure where the third IC is. Sona doesn't have it, we don't have it.
Also, there's another catch-up spot for Samp, because Samp already has the Ikana Grotto, so not much reason to go back to Graveyard unless things get a little bit, you know, start running out of checks. So this small trip here, from what we see, the information we have, it's technically a little bit of a time loss on Sona's side, given that there was nothing on the grotto. So, you know, measuring the catch-up potential and the differences, and Samp having to get a detour for the Smithy money, although he is returning to Coat, of all things. Probably a miss Soar. This should be north.
There we are. Yeah, Ghost makes sense after you get the Zora. Yeah, I think the 7th always we've seen is Snowhead Great Fairy Dead. And we have seen that. I don't have an 8th always though. Yeah, by my count, we are missing 1 IC hint and 1 always hint.
Sona battling with the fake Gorongs, and I was gonna say, I hope he takes Agato mask off. I know I made that mistake of leaving it on. There will be no
Yeah, I've done that too.
necessary fight.
I did that in the qual for Season 6. People were thinking I was trying to play Mystery.
Oh, Sona even doing the completionism and going all the way over here. A swim back is nice, no? I usually like to get a quick peek at a foolish check, but that kind of ledge, maybe a little bit too much work.
Yeah, you can get some secondhand information if you see, I don't know, maybe you would see Pictobox dead or some such. Or a Donjero's dead, that would be something ideal.
And Sona, unfortunately, going for a foolish grotto over here. Wow, oh, this is a shrine before the owl. So no Pirate's Fortress, exterior or interior, or even Pinnacle Rock, or Azor Hall. Sona is just going straight to Shrine, and right now, Samp is more back in the game than before.
Yeah, yeah, unless that keg turns out to be required, but no sign of Goron yet.
I mean, I give Samp a compliment, and now what are you doing? Just don't go back for the letter to Mama. This check is gonna be relevant in like 50 minutes only. Don't get it here again.
Yeah, it might have been more helpful to wait until, you never know, say Goron pops up, and you'd have to travel back here anyway for the Elder Goron flag.
Yeah, it would be nice in this position if they get to clear Snowhead Temple and then for some reason get a cycle reset and get those Goron Village platforms back up. So in the future, if they get a Swamp Title Deed, that's when you reroute grabbing this paper, right?
Right. Say Swamp Title Deed in Deku. Some sort of situation like that.
Yeah, well, because otherwise, just gunning this check just because. No hint, not so good. There's a Zora mask waiting for you. Look at imagine all the beautiful swims and dolphin dives you're gonna be able to do. I mean, beautiful dolphin dives that both runners seem to despise. Guys, come on, don't you like water? Okay, Samp is just re-grabbing this. That's fair.
Okay. Surprised I didn't grab it at the start of the cycle.
Yeah, Sam forgot it along with the money. So, it's fine. It's alright.
Resort?
I think it's the second Miss Soar. I think those analog flicks are way too fast, way too perfect. Get that speedrunner menuing. Just gotta not miss it.
So the stream stuttering again, I hope it holds. Well,
we're gonna see the face of the gold dust item again. And then, if you want to go to Pinnacle Rock first, be my guest, but don't be shy to enter into here. Suarez is gonna be there. Even if you get Goron Mask super late, it's not a problem. And now what actually comes into play finally is the fairy eggs.
Yes, that song is in logic, even with one bottle.
Although, for what song, right? You want to enter Great Bay? Out of Logic Stone Tower Temple, there's like nothing.
Yeah, it'd be tough. I don't think any of the dungeon songs would result in a clearable dungeon at this point. You would need another item.
And Sam saw a big shiny thing on the underwater. Let's see what it is.
Zora Mask seems to be the bottleneck on our seed. Samp the first runner to really start digging into it. Oh. Hello, Bank 3. At least that's an easy grab this seed.
This is the one seed that you're probably not complaining about Bank and probably thinking that it's a check, maybe. All you need from here is like, what, a second bottle? Get 2 gold dusts, line up the in-game time, get Bank 3 done. I don't know what's Samp's Bank situation, I know Sona has like 600 something should be the math, right? He had 720 or 730, and then with got 80 or 90 back.
Yeah, 2 gold dust or 1 gold dust and some incidental rupees would get it for Sona. Meanwhile, Sam finding Don Jero on Baba Grotto.
For a very important southern swamp. So along with the mirror shield, we might see our final important item here, hopefully.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, Sam's revisit the swamp. Now with Zora, can easily get up onto Swamp Spider House Grotto. We'll acquire that mirror shield and we'll be able to follow through, use that Don Jero's mask.
I gotta say, everything lined up so perfectly for Samp here, and very well deserved, I would say. Because between going here for the one important item versus Biobaba Grotto and a big chest in underwater, probably should go underwater. I know there's a, confirmation bias possible, but guaranteed big chest versus swamp situation. You're gonna get one check there that is not even gonna immediately solve the importance. Maybe you can allow yourself to get a Picto or a Frog. I know it's a stretch and it sounds completely delusional because we saw what happened, but these things do happen from time to time. And if you can free roll yourself to be in the best 10 of these situations, this is it, right? Because look what we're seeing from Sona. He ended up doing Shrine, which is it's a good dance spot. He has a good sword. It's not like it's terrible, but you gotta put yourself in those situations, right? And
Bottle on the frog. Would that be the
it's
4
just a bottle. So not the biggest of all rewards. For Eggs Fairy, of all things. So yeah, great. You just saved 2 tank hops. Congratulations. Very good use of an important item.
So our stream, this seems to be cutting out again. En route to the Icon Owl. It's holding, thankfully.
I know who or what I'm rooting for in this match. Definitely rooting for Sona's internet here.
Yeah, I think we all are.
I mean, what a way to phrase things, right? What are you rooting for on this race? I hope that both runners' computers don't blow up.
Yes. Sona
it's
very low
always
health. Yeah, a bit of comedy here. So Sona at very, very low health. A quarter heart, scoops the fairy, gets an egg.
Oh, he went for the bottle. Ah, alright. He did slash the owl, so... But I think he really wants to check the Mirror Shield song. I would say it's still not the time. You're not in need to check the layout or anything. It's just gonna be a song. On a fight that... okay, he has Gilded. So, he's bailed on equips there by not having Deku and not having Ice Arrow.
Chad, I don't think we can curse the PCs any more than they already have been.
Yeah, please no, of all things. I don't want to... The last thing you want to commentate or curse. The only things I want to commentators curse here are just good vibes. Positive vibes things. Like, you're gonna go to Lance Cave, you're gonna find some milk, Look how positive and good vibes that is. I don't, computers blowing up, no, that's not on me. And we are seeing again a beaten path play by Samp versus the rogue, the rebellious, who goes for very out of logic. Just by one item though, Mirror Shield chest here. Yeah, before Eagles of all things, I mean, you would think you would do this on the exit rather than on the entrance. My god, it is a big chest. Don't tell me.
Sona knows something that we don't. That's a lens of truth. Not quite as valuable in a seed where you already have fire arrows, but if it locks something on Darmani or Shiro, then that's a pivotal pickup. And if it's not, well, then it's just bait.
It is kind of unfortunate that the lens is in Ikana, so can't route Shiro on your way in anymore. But if Deku or Goron shows up to grab that Captain's Hat, that's gonna be +1 item for Sona. Quite neat.
Samp hooking to the torch to start their pirate fight.
Using the elemental arrows is a real strat for Sam. At one point, I was interested in the no-hit run, and I was kind of fiddling around with things. I think fire arrow is not one of the worst choices for if you wanna not get hit on the fight. Of course, then I saw Majin Phil throwing a keg or something at the pirate, but fire arrows are interesting at least, to say the least.
Yeah, we are getting the Out of Logic song from Sona.
Meanwhile, the pirate trip is yet to be interesting.
Battle number 3.
Yeah, wrong layout again for a bottle like this. Oh,
Sona at low health again against Egos, and that's gonna be an F.
yeah.
That's
If
fairies, remember.
if you want to list the places where you don't screw around with dying, is Egos. It's very real. You cannot, like, Egos is not a super free fight or anything. It is Gilded Sword, but all it takes is a few hits, and Egos is very terrible breath as well.
We did see a Zoe Grotto visit in Twin Islands. It didn't have anything.
I don't think we saw the hot spring water grotto. I don't think we saw it, right?
Hot Spring Water Grotto, though. The fires were in Lens Cave, so you would have had to backtrack for that. And I don't think either runner opted to do it. Maybe Sona did off screen.
And Samp getting the eggs on the way back from Pirates.
I don't
Usually
believe Pirates
should.
offer camp. Besides the extra bottle.
Will saving another tank hop, I guess. Probably should do this before you go to a Zoro location. Maybe Samp wants to go to Pinakorok here, or getting the check done with. It's fine. And at this point, you gotta really think, because Samp is running out of checks, right? There are some seeds where I feel like at least I say this, repeatedly several times. But I think Samp is running out of checks, right? So
Yes. Zora Hall. I guess the rest of Cape. There's underwater chest in Cape. Pinnacle Rock. Not a lot left. Sona, meanwhile, survives Egos. Gets New Wave.
0.5 of a heart. Yeah, because in Samp's situation, you gotta start thinking about pre-routing for getting healing on this check. Also, now that we know that the Mirror Shield song is New Wave, and New Wave is not gonna be here.
We know that, but Samp does not. Sona, for taking that information, going directly to Coast with their 1 bottle.
Yeah, if Sona finishes eggs here for healing and the item is in Kamado, I think he might get the best of it. It's getting a sword here, I don't know what he thought about. You can visit the hall and then get an extra fairy before getting back here, but in any way, I would guess the eggs are going into the aquarium for him right now.
Yeah, Sona's only got the 1 bottle. Not a lot of room to really get cute with visiting extra locations and getting free fairies. There's a little time save to be done that way, but just doesn't have the bottle capacity. Yeah, what Samp might do is, if Samp finds healing, could double immediately. Do Macau, do Hall, do PR, and maybe that gets you pretty close to midnight.
Yeah, and Kamado is a really dangerous spot right now because, if they had Elegy, you could say you can go there out of logic and spend in-game time, but that's not even going to be available. What is going to be available is getting New Wave from Egos, which it is confirmed that Ice Arrow cannot be on Great Bay Temple because of the song is in Upper Ikana. So if Kamado wants to throw us a curveball, that might be it. That's time.
Sonata. Not immediately useful. Just like all our dungeon songs.
Did you see the Kita peak from Sona? Because I only saw the grotto. That's also a possible check.
I did not see the peak myself. But, yeah, that Sonata does put Kita into logic. Sona has visited Graveyard, I believe. Or Samp, I believe, did Samp do it? Samp probably did. I don't remember if Samp did it. Sona has.
Did what exactly? By the way, beautiful dolphin dives for Samp for Pinnacle Rock. That's the speedrunner differential.
Gossips would be in logic, but we've seen no hint for them.
8th always potential. That's interesting. I don't know if Ocean Spider House check the 30 skulls are still in play. That's not also a possible 8th always.
Not a lot of Gossip Stones to find them from, though. Could potentially poke around an Upper Icona for them, even though it's a technically out of logic Gossip Stone. Might be worth it since we're still lacking our 3rd IC.
Yeah, now I don't remember exactly the logic. I know I always ask when I get the chance, but I don't remember. I'm not sure if both hints have to be behind the check, or it has to be only one. I totally forgot. But yeah, maybe the... I mean, so there are still checks, in plural. But there can be a point where you literally go to the Pohud hint and possibly the Swamp Spider House hint as your last quote-unquote check, because the only possibility is the 8th always.
Yeah, the rule for hint placement is that if the hint leads to something required, or even if it's a WAF or an IC, targeting a hint, targeting an item, both hints must be placed before the relevant item, in progression-wise.
Yeah, I think we only have the Swamp Spider House one available.
Mask of Sense, no use today. We have wallets. Bank 3 on the table, though. Haven't seen it yet.
Oh, that is true. Runners have Light Arrow. So I wonder...
Yeah, light arrows and regrabbable gold dust.
Yeah, speaking more about Samp's time of day, if not for pre-routing Kamado, should have maybe pre-routed the time of day to sell the gold dust. Samp will have a bailout if there needs to be a wait time for Bank 3. Or, I mean, a way into Bank 3, right? Because what I'm thinking here is you do... Wait, no, they don't have the song. What am I talking about? I was going to say Stone Tower Temple out of logic. They don't have it. Because I was going to say you can dump in game time and you can do the skulls, right? But...
Right.
Yeah, if it's Bank 3, Samp is gonna have to... I mean, what am I saying, right? You can just go to Terminal Field. I mean, you can ignore what I'm trying to overthink way too much. And this is not even Mask of Sense importance to be overthinking.
Yeah, I mean, we have to pick our pick of the litter for Terminal Field money raising. Both Enos and Takuri. Or you just go to Soft Clock Town, grab your dusts. Though Samp will need time for that.
And Samp did drink a Chateau. So maybe we have a 100% glitchless speedrun moment. Only missing the bunny hood. Meanwhile, Sona is interested in the skulls. Maybe use the wrong arrow for a little bit.
Wanted
He is
Hearts.
coming back. And Samp won the race to Goron Mask. It's on Evan. I mean, I don't want to say it again that the runners were really avoiding swimming, but Evan, really? Sona's going back here. I understand if Kita's a big chest, that's very attractive, but I mean, I don't know. Look how long it took, right? It's gonna be 3-dip graveyard confirmed for Sona. And what a ultimate max punish, right? Because Samp is just gonna roll with it here. Literally.
Yeah.
He's just gonna grab
Samp's got
the
Goron.
Captain's hat and single dip graveyard with the Kita chest included.
Yeah, this is a logical captain set. We found a land title deed earlier. But Sona making the Keaton play. Not the Keaton play, the Kita play. They're very different. Keaton itself is dead if we find it, thanks to an NCT IC1.
Speak of commentator's curse, I just mentioned the Swamp Spider housing. Okay, he's just looking at the item itself. Maybe not too sure on the bottle importance. The bottle was important. I didn't keep track if the another bottle locked anything. There was the light arrow, which was useless so far. But yeah, the importance in Swamp is more than confirmed. It's a little trip there. Wasn't a big deal.
Samp also winning the song from Migos. He just got another bomb back.
What is the expression? For me, this is a little bit too much of writing correctly, but in crooked lines. I don't know if there's such an expression in English. I just literally translated from Portuguese. But, you know, the song is good, but, you know, maybe not yet. But it's fine.
I like that
They're gonna
expression.
get it.
I like this expression. It's new to me, but I like it. A crooked
Yeah, it's
line in
usually-
the right direction. Since this will be progression for Samp. Out of logic progression, but they aren't really losing time by doing this.
I don't want to be too annoying commenting about every single micro situational thing in the world, but imagine if you just come back here with like one extra heart or something, or do the beautiful Stone Tower Temple into Castle optimal route. Those little things, you know. But for now, Samp is gonna be the second player here to get New Wave.
Yeah, ice arrows are helpful themselves against ecos. Samp has little trouble. Cleanly done.
And you
So
know,
it's gonna
when
have
it
to
comes
warn pretty soon.
to this deciding where to go, and you might see those big chests and be like, ooga booga, big chests, right? Which is fair, you know. But like, you think what you know what it entails. You can go to Hall, get the underwater chest, and what was it? 3 checks, right? One of them out of logic. That's pretty good for Zora Hall, which is usually 2. You can just go there. That's your a progression owl, and then leave the whole walk to Kita for a little bit later. And you know, it is confirmation bias. I'm sorry I'm repeating that for the 100th time, but things do happen. And look how massively rewarded Samp is here. You know, big chest doesn't have to always be ooga booga, right? That underwater plus Biubaba, that made a lot of sense. Also because to get to underwater Biubaba is a little bit less of a walk than going all the way to Kita.
Yes. Yes.
So these are the things where you have to consider when decision making, and also how far from go mode are you? Which, to be fair, I mean, okay, so on Sona's side, there's still a lot. There's not going to be a lot anymore after getting Goron here.
Right.
But
We're down to 2. Deco nice.
yeah, 2, and we're still apparently 1 importance hint remaining. So yeah, you gotta think about go mode here. Whenever Snowhead Temple gets unlocked, which is gonna give you 2 more hints. I don't know if they're gonna be able to play, you know, too aggressively Skippy and avoid, you know, at least for, they're gonna have to full clear Snowhead Temple if it comes up, probably. But from there, then it's definitely go mode time. If the hint is useful, probably.
So let's sword to Milk Road. Thinking about Termina Field? Okay, now this is how they get to the underwater chest, which award the second wallet and Dongeros, as we know.
It's unfortunate. The wallet, I mean, the wallet is nice. It's not, you know, it is a benefit. Probably gonna save a deposit if they choose to do Bank 3. And we know the Donjero is not completely necessary because it's just a bottle and swamp. But that might mean more time lost for Sonaholic, because how do you not go for the 4th, right? Even though with the amount of bottles remaining on the pool, you're probably, you know, you probably see yourself getting bottled here, very likely. But do you not go for the 4th, you know?
Yeah, the frog is too tempting with the IC4.
To be honest, maybe you do Graveyard here and then go for the frog, because, you know, if coincidences happen, maybe you get the Deku Mask first. I mean, no, what am I saying? You have to get Captain's Ear, so obviously you look for the frog. Yeah, that's not even a variable.
Yeah. Time to pick up your captains. Then you go Graveyard. After that, I think the natural line is Elder Goron.
It would be really funny to not get specifically Lullaby here, because we're gonna ask that question again. What checks are remaining? I'll stamp with the speedrunner strats, or just the sick gamer strats, waiting for the bat to damage you. Really good recoils.
Well done there. You gotta learn from that.
I tried to do that one. I don't know if it's the micro input delay on Dolphin that, you know, makes it a little bit weird. But yeah, when you get damaged, you kind of have to, I don't know, backflip really as you get damaged. It's really nice to see the runners that are available to apply it, are able to apply it. If you want to use a worse strat that looks way less cool, I also have one where you go on a straight line and you do a dummy backflip and then another one and then 2 more. That's also an option if you want to know the recoils on the way back, which are very useful. You should never try to walk normally, popping enemies and stuff. You should always try to get a shortcut there.
That was Elegy on Elder Goron.
Oh, Elder Goron?
Yeah, Sona went for Elder Goron.
That is true, we can get there. Oh my god.
And it's now... Is this a Great Bay Temple dip for Sona?
Sona is opening the temple, so might as well enter it. That's a very...
Yeah, summoning the turtle takes Lulu photo off the board, so you don't want to do it until you're ready to go to GBT in Season 6. And we know logically Ice Arrows cannot be in Great Bay Temple thanks to where New Wave was.
Oh my god, that is true. That makes the play from wild to like very much terrible. Oh my god. I wonder if Sona just forgot about it, because I mean, I don't want to say anything, but you know, Ego song out of logic ahead of time, if you don't have to confirm importance or confirm the song layout. I mean, you know.
I mean, if you do it,
Oh,
it's understandable given that we've already seen one dead song, but if you do it, you've got to keep your logic in mind. You gotta
Yeah, that is
Ice Arrow
true.
logic. One of those big bugaboos of MMR. And it's gonna sting Sona tonight.
Yeah, it's never nice to go into a temple where you're looking for one last item and not in you know, confirming that you're not gonna find the item to be able to beat it.
That is not Deku, it is the final bomb bag. Sample
Meanwhile,
looking to be thorough on the north here.
yeah, usually you let this keg check for later, but oh, it's a Gibdo, man. Really? I mean,
Gibdo.
why didn't he say yes? I mean, you have to blow up the racetrack again anyway. Might as well leave it for I don't know, in half an hour.
If you find Deku first and Ice Arrows is your go, then that Gibdo's not going to help you at all. It's just a wasted mask. So the hesitation to play there, I can understand that. Yeah, FD, technically an option here. Don't know if it's worth the investment. You've got Gilded Sword. If Samp stays on this cycle, already has infinite magic.
Yeah, I would say definitely a big no for FD here, unfortunately.
Yeah, Wrench Cows via the keg on Final Shrine. In logic now. Runners would have to cycle for it though.
Would be a good reason to Song of Time. And remember the whole, you know, Song of Time to in the future grab the letter to Mama again on Samp's side. Now Samp is just gonna have to take in-game time all the way and do Madame Aroma in bar completely individually. Not so bad, but
I
don't want to do other
think
things.
Samp is still on the same cycle as when they did Smithy, if I remember correctly. So they should still have Letter to Mama in possession.
Yeah, exactly. Still on that cycle.
Yeah, could have easily have waited to re-grab it until their visit with Goron. Could have saved some time there.
Oh, this is a VCI's moment. I couldn't see it, but Samp definitely liked it. Maybe it's Deku, given how, you know, what's it called? Unseeable it is.
It is
I know
Deku.
the hair.
It is Deku. I think Samp has to re-grab Scarecrow.
Oh, that. Hold on. That is correct. Yeah, right. So Samp is gonna spend a little time without grabbing that Deku. And wow, those hints on springtime cannot come any sooner.
Yeah, it's good news for Samp, of course. I mean, always good to find, you know, the B1 from Go, but it means Ice Arrows is Go. Can avoid the stip to Great Bay Temple that Sona's doing. Does not need that Gibdo mask. Was right to just leave that be on Keg Trial.
Samp playing a blank song, unfortunately. I'm gonna go also slash the owl. Or just beat the temple. That's easier. And yeah, Deku more than confirmed not in Great Bay Temple. And Sona definitely not happy about that.
Sona's dip has failed. I was too busy looking at Sam's side. Did Sona bother to turn any of the red valves?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they invested in that.
Going to sewers. It is a live location, which is nice.
Yeah, Samp went for the TFE and TFI clear. Had to leave sewers B. Sona's first visit the PF, if I recall correctly. We'll be able to do the whole thing.
And with nearly 2 hours on the timer, we have our first proper temple full clear here from Samp, with only one item remaining of all things, which who knows might be on our last hint.
You could very well be sitting here in Snowhead Temple. We do know GFM is not required, so we can skip peeking Snow Room Bubble.
The Sona. We can another sword. Where are these swords? I don't understand. That's a
It's not a
song
sword, it's a song of time?
Didn't even get it to sewers? It's a little convoluted.
I'm not sure. Deku Mask might be re-grabbable. Or might be grabbable in spring. Landscape isn't, but...
Landscape definitely isn't. And the Scarecrow item, I'm pretty sure it is re-grabbable. Those things don't fall out. Yeah, I really don't understand these double backs from Sona here because, you know, sewers is a good place to check, but then you go for the keg instead when you're right there. I don't know. Just gotta do checks. Gotta open chests.
Yeah, I mean, the danger is if Sona finds ice. Well, they don't have elegy though, so.
Yeah, it's a matter of time before getting
They
in.
did.
But
They did have elegy, right? They did. They did do. Don't they have elegy? I thought they did Elder Goron, and then quickly sort away. They don't have it on their tracker either, to be fair.
yeah, at this point, I don't even know because Sona. I don't know if Sona, you know, soared out of nowhere or whatever. But Elegy and Lullaby. Oh, Sona didn't do Graveyard, right? I don't think we saw a Graveyard trip yet.
No captains had use from Sona. They did go do Kita while they didn't have captains. So they would have to visit Graveyard yet again.
Yeah, I mean,
Follow
the
up
thing
on
is... Oh, there it is.
Oh wow, there it is. Ice arrows on fires. That is no mode for Sam. They've just got to grab the Deku to be an official go.
2 hours on the clock on that Ice Arrow.
This one is a happy 2 hours for Samp. You know, here in the MMR Season 6, lower bracket race, Sonaholic on the left, Samp on the right. I'm here with Spec in the booth. Let's see, it is a NetLC and Tomotech I'm tracking with Tomotech our restreamer. And all of you for watching. You know, what a turn of events. At 1 hour, Samp is stranded in deep trouble, forgetting where to find their bean. But they've recovered, executed, and routed beautifully. And now they are sitting in the driver's seat of the seed.
Song of Soaring inside the barn. How many of these? I know I did one today.
Yeah, I was guilty of it a fair bit when I started playing Mystery with the Cow Shuffle. Hard habit to break.
Also, Samp showed a little bit of... It's more swag tech than anything, but if that's what gives you consistency, by all means. And we're gonna see it again, probably. You go over the snowball tunnel, and then you roll... You fall while rolling, and shield mid-air to recoil back for the snowballs. Alright, yeah, Samp is just gonna do the recoil here. Just. This recoil actually has to be quite exact.
I believe it is framed perfect. Not a problem for Samp though.
Yeah, from that distance, I believe it is really nicely done. But yeah, the roll into shield. When I started playing this, and I used to practice with Deza Nick, the Mario player. I don't know if anyone knows that, but yeah, we used to lab stuff, Tack and Majora together when I was started to learn, and he loved doing that strat. So it's always it's always nice when I see someone else doing it. Yeah, I saw in chat when it comes to Sona's decisions, maybe he feels he's behind or something. The thing is, even if you are gonna do plays if you feel you're behind, which I mean, Sona throughout the seed absolutely wasn't. I mean, Semp got the Gora mask earlier, but I don't know, that still felt like a race to me. But the thing is, you can't just like there's only so much you can do, right? You can't just say I'm behind and I'm gonna go to a temple that literally cannot have ice arrows, or do it right here. Just go. I don't know if Sona is just dumping in time here for something else, but yeah, you're not gonna go to another temple that has half your items, or go all the way to Pirate's Fortress to go to sewers, and then not enter sewers. Like
Yeah, Sona still has a pending song that is very much in logic on the graveyard. Another instance of, ice arrow logic just being left by the wayside, and again, it stings.
Yeah, we are so used to it as more, the more we play Standard in Majora's Mask Randomizer. But at one point, everyone goes through this. If Ice Arrow logic slips by, that's as much punish you can get, because you're literally going to locations that cannot have your item. That's the worst thing you can do in a randomizer period. And yeah, we're all subject to it, and you absolutely need to keep track of those things. Especially, early Eagle song check without Ice Arrow. 2 minutes go by, and you might just misplace it in your memory.
And a lot of inverted STT is Deku locked too, adding insult to injury. You're not going to find ice, and most of these checks aren't going to have Deku either.
Yeah, from here on, none of these checks can have Deku or Ice Arrow. Sona might as well just go mode this temple, because there's nothing else you can do here. Like those two checks, and it's just a hard lock thing because it's Stone Tower Temple. It's not even because of the GBT in case of the song. Yeah, I didn't do the frozen eye. I believe this is just a go mode straight to the boss. Or not. Buttons getting pushed.
Switch here. I would have to check the logic editor for that.
The frozen eye chest, it should include Deku, because casually you have to fly to the place where the chest spawns. It costs you nothing to shoot a fire arrow on the eye, but you have to actually grab the check, and that's where Deku logic comes in. But honestly, I'm trying to think what is in Sona's mind from here, because ever since, after Sona did 2, it's not even 2, right? One of the graveyard trips Sona did was on his way to Ikana, and it's like, you're really gonna skip out on that? Probably not. But, one extra trip for Kita, and then, got Goron Mask. It's not even super late compared to Samp, because Samp also decided to not do Zora Hall for what felt like forever. But yeah, after, that maybe extra graveyard trip and then getting Goron that late, I don't know, maybe something went on Sona's mind, erroneously I might say, thinking he's behind or something. Because I don't know what's going, I really don't know what's going on. Just going to this temple, we'll have to do only one useful elemental arrow strat from here. Like, just go moding this. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, Twin Mold will put up a bigger fight. Cannot benefit from Ice Arrow damage against the red Twin Mold.
Maybe when Sona entered the temple, the logic wasn't clear in his mind. But now that he's go moding it, essentially, it definitely is. So rebuilding after the mistake, I guess, taking a half arrow Twin Mold, and on Samp's side, which is a pure Zac spot. Oh, nice side hops, I gotta say, for the Eye Glory Coil. That's nicely done.
Yeah, very nicely combined. Sona did fight Gomez, right?
I didn't see it. We might see your key doesn't fit the lock dialogue here. Yeah, in general, after the literal first check of the inverted side of this temple, Sona absolutely needs Deku and all the way needs Ice Arrow. There's nothing here. Yeah, that's the Ocarina Pole. Realizes he doesn't have the boss key.
I'm usually guilty of this for a state or two after I transition back to standard for something like Scrubs or Mystery, which tends to give you the door for free. Yeah, the internet drop, I'm sure, had to be nerve-wracking for Sona a bit.
Yeah, in these spots, you do have to get your mind clear on the right spot, right? Because, okay, the internet is falling, but it's like you have your local recording, right? And you can't control your internet provider. Believe me, we all wish we could, right? And from there, you have to try to clear your mind as much as possible. And these things are distracting. It's not completely free to say just clear your mind, bro. But that's one of your duties as a runner, because these things can happen, hardware stuff, etc. Yeah, there's the controller thing too, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
From here on, the controller seems to be working. I don't know if he's having the same input delay issue that he said he was having on my race, but it's like it's all about you doing what you gotta do, and everything else is noise.
Yeah, on Sona's tracker right now, there's a message on the third IC slot. Samp has it, I'm throwing.
Yeah, like, bro, I mean... Yeah,
you don't know that Samp has it. I mean, that's not the attitude you can take, Yeah,
this comes definitely as a compliment. Sona definitely deserves more confidence than this. Because even after the... So, I mean, there are reasons to critique both runners' efficiency from the beginning to the end, and I'm talking, minigames first cycle, wink wink, but even, consider everything that both of them did. Both of them fell into inefficiencies and had good spots. Like, Sona was in a spot where the race was absolutely not over, especially when we have the information we have by watching. And when you're the runner, you have to keep these things in mind, that you might, start critiquing a run way too much, but you don't know what the other guy is doing. That's like the maximum truth of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I usually joke.
Yeah.
I usually joke #never metagame. And maybe on an extremely high level match or whatever, you can make a judgment call if you're way too ahead or way too behind. But you never know, right? You never know. And here we know. So we know that we know. And Sona doesn't know, but thinking he knows, he's not gonna know, right?
It's hard for you. It's probably hard for your opponent as well. I mean, at this level, yeah. This is season 6. Season 6. I think one of the trickiest standard seasons to come along sometime. Maybe the trickiest standard ever. A lot of tough stuff. I will give Sam credit for. I mean, they kept running their race. I'm sure, being stuck on that bean did not feel good. But they pushed through. It was really, a tale of 2 hours here. At the end of hour 1, Sonaholic's ahead. They found their bomb bag. They went the coast, while Samp went to Shrine, and against all odds, the 1 check beat the 5 checks. And yeah, we're at 2 hours, and we're facing a whole different situation. You know, when it's just us, you know what I mean, and we are racing each other, but you know, it is just the runner alone with themselves in the hot seat. You know, we always run the race with ourselves, most of all, in this profession of ours. And you know, Samp has recovered very nicely.
Yeah, and talk about seeing these ups and downs in this race, because we saw Samp basically, you know, temporarily, I don't know, maybe completely hopeless or something, spending like 3 minutes or 3 minutes straight up thinking, right? And like, but the race keeps going on, and we saw what happened afterwards for both runners, and things keep moving, and that's, you know, one thing only. It doesn't tell the whole picture. Definitely didn't tell for Sona for this mid-late game chase or whatever, and definitely didn't tell for Samp when, you know, there was no bean to be found or whatever the hell, right?
Yeah. Someone got their Scarecrow. They're gonna pick up their Deku. It'll be an official go very shortly.
You know what's funny? If Samp didn't decide to be a super Chad and do the sidewalk recoil to the Zoe Grotto, this would have been a 3 Scarecrow song seed.
I think you're right. I mean, you could always leave Zoe Grotto for later. It didn't really have anything, but still.
He had Scarecrow. He had everything in hand. He just decided to do the baller trick because, you know, because you can.
Yeah, because you can. Hey, I mean, take one shot at it, and if you fail the shot, go do your Scarecrow. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go to sleep thinking of that sidewalk, by the way.
Yeah, we were all quite amazed, and my, you know, stream froze at the same time. I was able to, you know, sit with my surprise, and stream comes back for me, and he nailed it, or they nailed it. Yeah, good work on Sona pushing through, getting their first remains.
Alright, Samp retrying the glitchless damage boost. Got it. I don't think this is the cycle anymore, but always nice to get it.
Yeah, they're sitting on a quarter heart too. They have crit Wiggle to contend with.
Oh, come on, Samp. You have to do this flight? Really? The speedrun flight where you have the worst camera of all time? That's just swag points. How do you even know when to fly from here? I use the plants as a visual cue. You can't hear.
Yeah, this is not the first time Samp has done this on Restream. Just like, routine Deku Palace.
Yeah, when you're on the when you get the cycle, it makes sense because, you know, technically the shortest path. Although if you go to the other platform, you still get the cycle by a long shot. But, you know, after you miss the first one, you maybe get a nicer camera. But as I was talking with the sidewalk recoil, if you can do it, just do it. Baller move. Also, something I meant to comment earlier, Samp's in-game time of all things was completely pristine when the ice arrow was found. Maybe it's gonna take a little invert here. Probably not, but it's gonna get a little bit too close for comfort. Just gotta not make mistakes. But yeah, this is really good. Gonna take a transition here, unfortunately, but it's not even a price to pay at all.
Yeah, still plenty of time to finish without inverting. I mean, Woodfall goes pretty quickly, even with the boss key. GBT takes around 6.5 tournament hours, maybe 7. Now Sona taking care of Graveyard.
You should
So
see a
remembering the
similar loop of eventually Snowhead Temple. Going to the grotto again.
oh, Sona needs a stick.
Oh, you got the song but not the bats item, right?
Yeah.
Or?
And it's also
Wait,
low on
no,
magic
that's...
to defeat fire arrows.
Oh, it's the other way around, right? In that spot, you just kill the bats because you gotta do it anyway, and then you can.
Catches no magic either. Sona's empty on magic.
It's like every single time I see one of these runners, they're on like some low resource situation. Samp, while I was commenting about the miracle flight with the horrible camera, Samp was like in half a heart, and I just saw Sona exiting the grave with, I don't know, maybe half two. I think I had half, and Samp had a quarter in Deku Palace. You guys get to this point, come on.
I know. I was afraid Crit Wiggle was going to interfere with Samp's tech there. It did not. Samp just tanked the Crit Wiggle.
Yeah, props on those runners, because if I'm on Crit Wiggle, I can barely function if I have to do these walking sections.
If I get Crit Wiggle in Deku Palace, it's usually 10 seconds time loss for me.
Oh yeah, that's like the worst. Deku Palace Crit Wiggle, wow. The Zora recoil flip on the right side, it gets mildly annoying enough. Even setting up the backflip on Crit Wiggle.
Sona on the path to go. They'll see their Deku, they'll find ice in Snowhead Temple.
By the way, I think we just glazed past through it. Was Ice Arrow on the Fire Arrow chest?
It was.
This seed is pure poetry. The bomb bag behind the Great Bay Ledge, meaning you cannot cheat it, and then Ice Arrow and Fire Arrow chest.
Yeah. 2-star beam on Zora Cave Ledge. The exact opposite direction from Coast.
We on the audience love a Beam of the Hero Seed. This one definitely delivered, I would say.
Yeah, it was a real puzzle of an early game. Season 6 tends to produce seeds like that.
Sona did a very interesting variation on the first gap with no magic. Just like roll stuttering, bonking, semi-bonking the wall over and over. I hadn't seen that one. I usually try to go more or less straight. That's interesting.
We're missing the last I see, and I don't think we'll ever see it.
Yeah, that's a cosmetic hint, 100%. We can take a guess. Maybe we can get a side bet going on that. I feel like it's gonna be for. I feel like it's gonna be for Light Arrow, like Termina Field importance or something. Trying to think about the item that impacts the least, because you have to beat Snowhead for it.
Half the Snowhead won in springtime.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, the hints being behind Snowhead, like, they don't even alter anything. They don't even influence anything. Like, we did get bottlenecked pretty hard in several spots, but it's not like Upper Ikana had anything. Or, right? Barely anything else. It was like what, hook shot, bomb bag, Zora, then Goron. And then everything else was pretty much useless.
Yeah.
And then, Snowhead Temple package, right?
Yeah, the seed gives the Shrine package that's sub 30. And Shrine is just bait.
Oh, by the way, I saw the comment in chat. I totally ignored it because I didn't figure out that. So you actually need a Deku to access the Snowhead Temple. because of the tourist roof logic. How did we miss it all this time?
That's true. That's true.
One person in
true.
chat did remember it.
Of course. Yeah. You can
Come
totally
to
do
think
paths
about it,
without
it's
access.
crazy.
Yeah,
Because
so the gossip should. Yeah, I mean, well, if they hinted Path to Snow, they wouldn't be in springtime. That's for sure. We don't know what region they hinted.
I wonder if it just has to be the... It can be Snowhead Temple. I think it can. For the Ice Arrow. And I think it can be the Light Arrow too. Maybe these are the only two spots. Romani Ranch, I guess. No, no, it doesn't follow. Yeah. I think it's just the two of them. It would be nice to look. So definitely gonna ask. Got locks?
I think it would have to be on the Swamp Spider House stone and the upper... well, I don't know. The upper icon would mean that you would have eyes. Wow, I don't even know where they'd be.
You know, but maybe both springtime, that's possible, or one in springtime and then throw the other one in freaking in Swamp Spider House, or even lower Icona. You know, find the title deed somewhere. Who cares, right? But yeah, this is kind of crazy because Samp essentially went to Snowhead Temple almost for one item, except for the literal 2 paths to Snowhead checks. So if you really want to compare things, Sonaholic wasn't that, you know, hopeless when it comes to going to Great Bay Temple for one item. Obviously, it's so much worse because you know Ice Arrow couldn't be there. But yeah, the Snowhead Temple situation, not being able to have Deku. Maybe in another world that would be relevant. And then maybe one of them would full clear Snowhead Temple completely foolish, right? Interesting to think about for another seed, maybe. Samp doing the green turnkey ledge grab and inverting from what I saw, so Samp doesn't want to play with the clock.
At this point in your GPT, that's fair. I mean, there's an extra level of nerves with your final dungeon in a bracket race. I know my execution in SHT yesterday suffered just a smidgen, couldn't do the jumps through the snowball tunnel quite as quickly as I usually do. My thumb was just shaking too much. But Samp seems unhindered so far.
Another speedrunner signature trick to go from one turnkey to the other. The bomb pull, shoot the arrow, recoil flip. I don't think this is used in a single speedrun. Maybe bug limit, which is like a mainly Japanese category. But every single speedrunner seems to do it. It's always... It's to save one mask transformation. It looks really cool.
Yeah, Sam has no reason to grab that big gilded there. We know FD's on Hugo. And that might be the one possible time gain.
Overall, you gotta say, this seed definitely delivered, right?
Right. Unfortunately, Sona passing by Pyro was rope.
Oh yeah, if this is one of those I'm behind plays, I'm not sure if Fire Arrow Chest is the one you should be skipping out of. Especially, you know, looking at it very objectively. It's Ice Arrow that is missing. So you're not gonna find it in Stone Tower Temple. So it's like... You have the Fire Arrow Chest room to look. And then what else do you have? You can enter Woodfall Temple, right? Woodfall Temple has some quick checks, but after them, you're stuck just entering rooms as well, which is so bad. So considering the amount of stuff that is left, maybe not a high roll spot. But you know, now after the Great Bay Temple trip and, you know, the several mistakes in Stone Tower Temple, now we really understand it more than not.
Just the Seesaw Room and George now for Samp. You ways through the Seesaw Room. Samp not leaving Zora at all. Tougher than
Really
it looks.
good. Really good second seesaw jump. That is much harder than it looks. Took a fall there, but just gotta... You could just use the fire arrow, but Samp is just gonna show us all again. Maybe not. So, rewind the tape. You could use the fire arrow on the intended seesaw on the other side of the room, but we're gonna see it again.
There we are.
And that is so absurd because the Bomb Chew is only there, the Bomb Chew enemy, because Samp took that fall. Because the Bomb Chew is never in that spot. So that's like that's one of those situations that happen only in this very specific scenario. And I gotta say, given how turbulent the seed was, 2 hours 30 something is like a bargain, it feels like.
It sure was. The early game sucked. No mincing words there. But, you know, in the end, only one dungeon search really required. And logic, Ice Arrow logic, is kind enough to take GBT and STT off the table for our runners. You know, some pretty cheap heart containers early and a gilded sword. It means a much kinder second half than the first half.
Yeah, so even if you do Shrine, can time be cut down from this realistically by probably just assuming you're gonna full clear from the very beginning and then getting funneled into the bad check? Probably. But yeah, and you know, the Deku Mask for Captain Zat logic could have come into play, but thankfully that you know, the ending of the seed pretty much played itself. Sona showing the stunning the goat as Goron, which takes a while. That would have been a baller move. At this point, just wants to get over with more than anything, probably. Hey, imagine just casual strat, take down goat, and then spam the gilded sword. I know that the bomb explosion, after a bomb explosion, you need 5 jump slashes with the gilded. I don't know with the, you know, with the Goron spikes, cumulative damage, etc. But it is 5 at best, at worst with the gilded.
Yeah, you can do it, but you've gotta cancel those jump slashes. That's the only way you're fitting them in.
Oh, absolutely not. You can actually mash them, which is really good. So you don't have to think about timing the cancels.
Oh, really? You can? Yeah, I was informed otherwise. Not sure where I got that from. You probably have to be pretty. You have to start pretty early, I would bet. Though you don't want to wait for Goat to stop.
So I don't know I wouldn't be able to I don't know the exact description. I go to that that spot where there's the stain in the floor. I mean, around there probably makes no difference. And you know, just back walking normally, when the bomb explodes, I pull the sword with the shield. And I think that's when I start jump slashing, and you can just mash. So, I don't know. That's the method, so... And I can confirm you that you only need to mash. So, whatever the nuances are, that's how you can get it done. And it's really nice. But yeah, so
Here we are.
so
Yep,
to
the Jordan.
recap a little bit, sorry, so to recap a little bit of the story, like, so I mean, there are way too many stories in the seed. It's just, you know, Great Bay Coast Ledge for Bomb Bag was our main bottleneck, and then it was like Smithy 1 for Zora right after finding the fire arrow, and then it was Goron Mask and Zora Hall pretty much to everything else. That's a brief summary. And I don't know, at one point, you know, before getting Goron Mask, like both runners were doing their checks, and it's not like one was miles ahead of the other. And Samp lost a bunch of time not knowing what to do before going to the Great Bay Coast Ledge chest. But for some reason, Sona just maybe thought he was behind and just started, like, I mean, there's no way around it. Just starting having maybe a little bit of a meltdown. And that's how you end up here. We had a Great Bay dip, and out of logic, inverted Stone Tower Temple, which Sona soon enough realized and didn't do any checks there, except for pressing the switch. So yeah, at one point, you know, before the Goron Mask, Sona just thought he was behind for some reason, which I think he absolutely wasn't. And yeah, that's how we're here. And not grabbing the fire arrow chest is just the tip of the iceberg, really.
Yeah. Tough night for Sona. I mean, we all have tough nights in Rando now and then. You know, especially, you know, difficult to have it come in a bracket race. Hopefully Sona doesn't take it too hard and can shake it off and learn some for the future.
Oh, jump slash is incoming. 7. Those you absolutely have to cancel, and beautifully done for Samp, who will take the win and advance to losers bracket round 3. I don't know how many rounds, but Samp,
I think it is round 3.
Winner.
Yeah, GG. 2 hours 34 minutes, 37 seconds. You know, gotta respect the execution, gotta respect the resilience. Well done, Samp.
Yeah, from being in the literal
Impressive.
spot of where is my check, going all the way. And Sona, you know, from maybe the disconnections and the controller issue on the Gorman Bros race, maybe that affected him a little bit. But yeah, that was a tough race. Was playing all the way over here, and yeah, but that one now goes to Samp. Ends on Bomber's notebook. Yeah, wow. Of all things.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we get any interview from our runners. Yeah, no delay, so they're just chatting about it right now. Wow. Someone talking the race from letting us know. The third IC, Snowhead Temple 1. It was in Canyon and Swamp Spider House. Wonder if it was behind the Deku in Canyon. If so, that's a pretty vicious set of placements for your third IC.
Stone Tower Temple 1, yeah, definitely expected. I think it was only 2 possible. But yeah, just by the hints logic, very expected.
It says Canyon Ravine is what it says for where the hint is on the thing.
Wow, it was behind Deku after all. That's diabolical.
So there was a lingering ocean title deed. Yeah, thanks, game.
Yeah, a foolish ocean title deed, no less.
But it does sound like neither one of them are going to come in to talk about it.
Yeah, understandable. Get some rest runners. GG Samp. Good effort, Sona. Thanks. You know, thanks for
Yeah.
showing your stuff on Restream, both of you. Wouldn't have a Restream without you.
Yeah, as played, definitely was tough on both of them. And yeah, it was a good watch. We saw good stuff from both runners. It was really nice. Glad we could take this one.
Stamp left a comment. The comment just says, Cliff.
Yeah, that's a really good one. It could mean the check or, you know, falling off of one by, you know, after you see the unraveling of the seed. Could go either way.
Cliff. Very succinct. I love
I
it.
choose to believe that the cliff comment is because there's a beautiful view from there.
Yeah, the view for
Yes.
Samp. They will move on to face the winner of Marco versus Cine.
It's another really good one. Wow.
Yeah, competition gets fiercer and fiercer as the rounds tick by. And I know there's some more scheduled this week. Whether those get restreamed, well, we'll find out. We'll do our best. But yeah, I think I'm said all I needed to say about the seed. It was a pleasure commenting with you, Spec.
Yeah, it is what it is. We comment everything. It was a wild ride, wild bottlenecks, and that's how it goes. And yeah, that's where we're gonna end, I guess.
It's a good race to watch. There are 2 more races tomorrow night, one at 7, one at 8, so hopefully you can get one of those on tomorrow. So 7 8 Eastern time, excuse me. So about an hour and a half before this one started. For the later one, 2.5 hours before this one started. Bucky versus Alf is one, Boo versus the other section is the other. Let's see. Got a few people signed up for it. We'll see what's going on. I should be available for one of those 2 tomorrow, so hopefully we can get it on. But yeah, thank you everyone coming out. Thank you both for commenting. Thank you to Owl Knight for helping me track. The runners for running, because that was a great watch. And hope everyone has a good night. Or a good rest of your day, rather. Goodbye.